Lakeside Dental Clinic, Go Island, is brought to you by Lakeside Dental Clinic.
Nanaimo City Council met in the Shaw Auditorium for a regular council meeting on Monday, February the 16th. Today, we're hanging out at City Hall. We have some highlights for you.
Dedicated to an invention for more than half of his life. They can score on the ice, but can they score here too? And what's your pink shirt promise?
Highlights we'll touch on over the course of the next 30 minutes include honoring Diana Johnstone, the difference between a regular city council meeting and committee of the whole, and of course, budget talks. They spent a lot of time on that Monday night in council chambers. But first, we're going to start off with an 80-year-old man named Frank Elgu. I had the pleasure of meeting him in his home recently, and he's dedicated the last 35 years of his life to inventing something that's pretty cool. Super cute couple, Frank and Sophia, and we do wish them all the best in launching their intercontinental monorail shuttle express. Bill McKay acknowledging Diana Johnstone at Monday night's Nanaimo City Council meeting. Diana served 2 terms as a city councillor. She's done a whole lot more than that in this community. And what is the freeman, and I should say free woman, of the city recognition?
Well, it's also freedom, known to some people.
Okay.
It's a recognition, it's the highest honor that you can give anyone in your community, and it is to honor their contributions to the city and what they've done over the years. It's been bestowed upon people who've entered military service. It's been bestowed upon mayors, past mayors, and aldermen. It's the highest honor you can give.
And it is an honor. I picture sometimes being given a key. It's like a key to the city, and you can go into the mayor's office at midnight. But it's an honor. And
well, in Nanaimo, you don't get a key, but you get a parking pass.
Oh!
It's just one small recognition.
And the list of Diana's accomplishments is very long.
As a matter of fact, I needed a 14-inch long piece of paper to be able to read them all out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's 30 years plus involved, and she's not a native of Nanaimo either, so good for her.
Excellent, exemplifying the spirit and dedication that so many people who call Nanaimo home have. We're going to talk about budget, we're going to talk about committee of the whole meetings later on this edition of Go Island. Time now for a short break.
Which Nanaimo Clipper can take the game from the ice to the table? A pink shirt promise to put an end to bullying and exploring the beauty of Sombrio Beach.
Council sits in council chambers for a regular city council meeting on Monday nights, and then on the opposite Monday night they have a committee of the whole meeting that is also taking place in council chambers. And for those who don't know, let's clarify first of all what the difference is between the two.
Okay, so council meetings are for making decisions, for passing bylaws, as well as making financial commitments. Committee of the whole is a recommending committee. It's not one that actually has authority. So what's happened was a number of years ago, obviously council meetings were getting so long that they decided let's shift some of that work, with the exception of bylaws, to committee of the whole. So we've got a much more supreme committee of the whole than you would see in a lot of communities. And now what we're trying to think about was whether or not we're going to go back to the old system where committee of the whole becomes a recommending committee with all of council on board. And it only makes recommendations to council.
Okay, there's a lot of work that can get done in discussion and the sharing of ideas. And I know at a city council meeting a couple weeks ago, even how the councillors sit and speak to each other and interact and share their ideas is getting work done. But as soon as you bring cameras or as soon as you bring the public into those meetings, the whole dynamic changes. Right. Is that part of what's happening in this issue?
Sure. One of the things we looked at recently was the possibility of taking our committee of the whole meetings back to our boardroom, where you could roll up your sleeves, less formal atmosphere, where you could actually, spend as much time as you want on a subject and get the work done. Mm-hmm. So some people were concerned that if you did that, you were going to ultimately end up with something that was not going to allow the public to participate. They're more than welcome to participate. However, we wanted to try and just make it a working committee as opposed to giving it authority to pass legislation.
Okay.
There's the big difference between the two.
Okay, now there's a lot of administrative stuff going on behind the scenes right now, juggling when agendas are released and how do people get on as delegations and late delegations. What does the public need to know in regards to that? What is probably pretty housekeeping heavy.
Well, sure. What we're trying to do is we're trying to make it so that there's longer lead time, so that councillors have more time to go over their agendas and ask questions of staff. We also want the public to be able to have longer lead time if they wish to make an address to council. It was a little bit clunky before where the agenda came out after the deadline for delegation requests. So you're always trying to deal with that. It's just a matter of smoothing out the process a little bit.
Excellent. Okay, that was one of the things you set out to do when you were elected a couple of months ago.
Yes.
Okay, great. When we come back, we're going to talk about budgets, but first, you ever play hockey?
No.
No. You ever play table hockey?
No.
No.
Ping pong.
Ping pong, table
What a
tennis.
loser.
Oh, but you probably won, right? You probably won those games. Well, Bill, you're probably one of the few who have never played table hockey. Dan Marshall is putting the Nanaimo Clippers to the test. I know, Bill, for your first game, we'll put you up against one of the Clippers for your first table hockey game.
Okay.
How would that be? We can
Oh.
make that happen, you know, we can.
I'm sure you can.
On February 16th, there was a lot of discussion around the Nanaimo City Council table about budgets. Right now, there is a 1% tax increase on the table
Correct?
and talk about cuts to, I'm assuming, services.
No, the 1%, the reduction that we asked for was actually not to increase service levels.
Okay, explain that.
So what we did was we started out with some new service levels for 2015.
Meaning things like hours at the swimming pool?
No,
or-
3 new police officers for one.
Okay,
So what we did was we had staff go back and reduce that. They dealt with that one plus a number of other issues to come up with a $750,000 savings. We ended up with a 1% tax increase. So that meant there was no tax increase for services. The 1%, the only thing we're asking for is the amount of money that we would put into our annual reserve fund for asset management. That's
Okay.
what that 1% was for.
and that was defeated by way of a tie.
Correct.
And so where does that leave us now, and what is the next step?
Well, we have some members on council that want to make significantly deeper cuts. I heard one member last night say he wanted to cut another 2% off the budget. So in actual fact, instead of a 1% increase, it would be a 1% decrease.
Now, what is the value in that besides saving an individual homeowner a couple of bucks over the course of a year, or am I being a bit cynical?
I think basically what it boils down to is to try to control the growth in our budget is basically where they seem to be going, trying to control the growth. There's been a significant amount of growth over the past 10 years, which probably outstrips inflation and the growth in the community, so they want to recognize that. Having said that, you're putting off projects that would then catch up to you later on.
This is really the nitty-gritty of the fine balance
Yes, absolutely.
between growth and sustaining what you have and being responsible about what you're going to be from where you are now to where you're going.
Particularly when you've got senior levels of government that are actually downloading on the communities, and you've got to backstop that with new additional services, including some of our RCMP services that were previously dealt with by provincial government, for example, that are now being downloaded to us.
Okay. What's the next step?
Monday night, we're going to be going to Committee of the Whole, and we're going to be looking forward to see what the members of council who wish to have cuts made, what they're proposing.
Okay. And the public can attend that
Absolutely.
at City Hall Chambers,
Absolutely.
Shaw Auditorium. Okay, February 25th is Pink Shirt Day coming up next week, and in honor of that and in anticipation of that, Fiona Shedden hits the Nanaimo VIU campus to find out what you're going to do, what promise you're going to make to help put an end to bullying and negative behavior. Pink Shirt Day actually started in Nova Scotia in 2006. A little boy arrived at school wearing a pink shirt. He was teased and bullied. And then the next day, some other kids showed up to school wearing pink shirts to show support in solidarity. Pink Shirt Day is coming on February the 25th, and you can get involved and you can earn your chance to win a VIP trip to the Teen Choice Awards in Los Angeles this coming August. Shaw is offering that to you. You can Instagram, Facebook, or tweet your promise, hashtag Pink Shirt Promise, and you'll be entered to the Teen Choice Awards opportunity in Los Angeles, thanks of course to Shaw. We're going to be back with more conversations. Nanaimo Mayor Bill McKay after a short break. This is the 2015 coldest night of the year toque. Why am I wearing it? Because Shaw Nanaimo, Shaw TV, is walking in the coldest night of the year on February 21st. That's this Saturday, to raise funds and awareness for the homeless in the community through the Island Crisis Care Society. You like the hat this year? Have you seen these before?
Oh yes, I've seen them. Oh my goodness, isn't that cute?
I have one for you, Bill.
Oh, geez.
I have. Would you like to join me?
Sure.
Okay, and you can wear it.
I can wear it.
Mm-hmm. And now that you have it on, I'm going to see if I can collect $20.
$20
as a donation to our team. Shaw will match that in the employee matching funds, so we are going to match it.
This is my lunch money.
Well, you'll have to work something else out. Thank you. We're going to be walking with Fiona, myself, Jocelyn, and Kelly on February the 21st. We might see you there. And these toques actually could come in very handy at Sombrio Beach. Have you ever been there?
No.
No. Oh, it's fabulous. That's where Raji Kabley is now on our next Arbutus RV Island Adventure. And that brings us to the end of this edition of Go Island. Sombrio Beach on my bucket list, thanks to Raji. Raji says that is now her happy place, and it's easy to see why. Thanks for watching Go Island. We'll see you next time.
Lakeside Dental Clinic Go Island is brought to you by Lakeside Dental Clinic, a division of the Vancouver Island Implant Centre, delivering dental services, including dental implants and sedation dentistry, all under one roof. Clothing supplied by Catwalk Fashions. Kate's Hair and Aesthetics provided by Maffeo Salon.